Now, this is my second video for slope. In the end of my last video, I talk about if you had 2 points, like say point A, point B, point A, point B, and there will be only one line can go through these 2 points. So 2 points will decide a straight line. When we decide the straight line, means you are able to find the equation of the line. So last time we already learned how to find the slope. And then right now we want to use the slope to find the equation of the line. Now you need a 2 point to find the slope. And with these 2 points, you can also find the equation of the line because 2 points is very enough for you to decide the straight line. Now let me write the formula for you. Last time I talked about rise over run. So rise means the change of y over change of x. We use the symbol change of y over change of x. And the direction is important. And when the direction is important, when you use the formula, just one thing you have to remember. Okay. So if we make a triangle here, this is change of y, this is change of x, and the change of y will be y1 minus y2, or you say y2 minus y1. Wow. Will be opposite number. Which one is the right one? And the change of x will be x1 minus x2, or you say x2 minus x1. Which one is the right one? That's what's the next thing I want to talk about. Okay. But don't worry about that. This distance is better we put the absolute value to know the distance. But consider our slope has positive negative. So as long as you can group your xy in the same direction, okay, together. So say if you use y1 minus y2, y1 minus y2, that's a rise. And then you need to use x1 minus x2 for run. x1 minus x2. Or you can use y2 minus y1. Then you have to use x1. Oh, sorry. y2 minus y1. If you use y2 minus y1, then you use x2 minus x1. Then you won't mess up the positive negative direction. And for those calculating skill, again, I don't want to talk too much detail here because this calculating skill we can deal with on our homework section. Now, because 1 and 2, 2 and 1 is kind of confusing, so actually I would like my students to memorize the formula by A, B, C, D. I think that's confusing. So on the book, you have x1, y1, x2, y2. Looks like too much work to memorize. So I will say, if you have a coordinate AB and the CD, AB and the CD instead of x1, y1, x2, y2, A, B, C, D. So this is x, this is y, right? So y should be on the numerator, x on the denominator. So you have A B, and then C, D. You group them together to calculate. Okay. Now, why these two are equal? Why they are equal? Because if you have 3 over 4 and you exchange the order, then you have negative 3 over negative 4. So they are still the same thing. You don't need to worry about the formula. Some students say, teacher, which one is in front, which one is after the subtraction? Basically, doesn't matter. Okay. So, how to use the formula? I said I don't want to confuse you by too much detailed calculation, but I think I talked too much. I already did. I talked too much here, and but this is important calculation. Okay. Now go back to the definition of the slope. Rise over run. So rise over run is the change of y over change of x. Keep in mind. And the formula you want to memorize, either one will be fine. Okay. You want to memorize this formula, or this formula. They are the same formula. Just one point, subtract the other point. One point, subtract the other point over a fraction. Now, we start here. One more example here. Okay. So different slope looks different, right? And this direction is negative. Do you see that? Negative, negative, negative. Because you need to go -2 and rise up one step. Oh, it's not 2 and 1. Yeah, 2 and 1. And all you want to say is -100 and go up +50. So 1 over -2 same as 50 over -100. Yes? Yes, right after you reduce. So that's the slope for the green color. And for the orange color, here, if you walk 2 steps to the left hand side, you need to walk up 2 steps. So slope is 2 over -2. Also, if you take a look at the number, is -100, and this is +100. So also you can say +100 over -100 is also -1. So this slope is -1. Okay. And this slope is -0.5. So this extra example for you. And keep going. We have blue color. If you walk -2 step and then walk up 4 step, so the slope will be 4 over -2, or you say slope is -100 over +200, so the slope is -2. Now, if you would like me to give you the coordinate to have an example here, you can say this is, let me change color. Let me change color here. So this looks like is 100, 0, right, on the coordinate. This is the origin. So this 100, 0. Here you have the coordinate is this is 0, 50. Yes. Okay. Let me erase the extra information here to make sure it's easier for you. Okay. Erase this. Erase everything. So we try to use the coordinate to calculate, not by step. Step is the concept. Okay, so let me use the coordinate and the formula to find the slope. So this one slope, this is how you calculate the slope, okay? And the first group, second group, you can choose either one. Doesn't matter which one is in front. So if I say first one, I want to choose this one. So 0 on top, 100, x coordinate on the denominator. Second one, 50 on top, x coordinate on the. So this is change your x, change your y. So remember y coordinate on top. So you have negative 50 over 100, which is slope is negative 0.5. Yes, right? Now we have this one also 100, 0, and this coordinate is 0, 100. So the slope is, you want to group together. This time you probably want to say, okay, let me do this one. Let me do this one first. It's y, x, and y, x. Well, I don't think I write good. Okay, let me rewrite for you. So we have, this is 100, 0. So the slope, let me choose this one first. So we have y on top, 100 here. And another point, this one, y on top, this is 0. So slope is negative 100 over 100, which is negative 1. Same thing. Now, how about if you say, teacher, can I switch this point in front? Yes, you may do so. So you have 100, 0. And the other one, you have 0, 100. So you have 100 over negative 100. Also, you have negative 1. So same answer. The slope, no matter you have which coordinate in front, you always have negative 1. So last example here. So this is 100, 0. This is 0, 200. So the slope, if you want to use which coordinate, how about I use this as a first coordinate. So I have 200 over 0. 200 over 0. I don't like my writing, not good. Okay, let me rewrite to a better writing. So slope 200, rise over run, right? Y on top, and the other coordinate y on top, and 100 on the denominator. So I have 200 over negative 100 equals to negative 2. Also, the same slope, if you want to choose this point first, right? And 200, 0, same thing. You have negative 200 over 100 equal to negative 2. You also have negative 2. So in these three examples, you can obviously see how you use the formula. Okay. And this will tell you with the same slope, if you choose a bigger triangle. Oh, wow. Okay, if you choose the smaller triangle or bigger triangle, you are going to have the same answer because like this one you times 2, right? You times 2 or you divide by 2, you have the same slope. So if you, for example, you have 12 over 4, same as you have 3 over 1. Make sense? Okay, they are still the same straight line, and then the slope is all the same, 3. And this extra information, usually when we talk about the rise over run is a ratio. Okay, rise to run, rise to run. So rise over run is a ratio, but we can always make this ratio become a fraction. For example, if you have, like the earlier example, we had 12 over 4, and make it smaller, 3 over 1. So 12 to 4, that's a ratio. 3 to 1 is a ratio. And when we want to talk about the slope, we want to make it as a fraction. So either you want to say 12 over 4 or 3 over 1, and then it's a slope. If you use ratio, you cannot calculate, but with the fraction, then you can calculate. Okay. So we formally introduce the slope of the line, the formula, rise over run, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Okay. And this is the example one more time. And remember, you want to group the same coordinate together. Okay. And for this one, you want to group them together. And if you make a 6 here and make a 2 there, let me change the color. Make a 6 here, 2 here, and try to make a -2 here and a -2 there. What happened? You are going to have different answer. So you are going to have 8 over -4, which is -2. See, opposite. Okay, so don't switch. If you switch the order, then you are going to have opposite slope, which will become this direction. This direction. That's not the right slope. So remember the slope formula. And then we want to keep going to how to find the equation. So point slope form. That's one. If I give you 1 point and give you slope, how you find the equation of the line. Now, there's one secret that you want to keep in mind. Any equation supposed to have many points, and they only give me 1 point. What happened for the other point? All the other point we call xy. Okay, every point have the same name. we call it xy. xy, yes? Okay. And the spatial point they give to us, for example, this point, we say x1, y1, or in this case, is 2, 6. Now, with one spatial point, then means we say xy is 1 point at least. And then x1, y1 is the given point. And then you have slope. Okay, so we can say assume that xy and x1, y1 are 2 points of the line. Okay, so that's very important. You need to use xy in general point because our equation need the xy in general. Then our slope formula. Remember, if you have 2 points, you just use slope formula. You can use xy, xy. Then you almost done with the formula. Okay. So I will say this xy are the in general point. You want to find the equation for xy. Now we make a parenthesis for our calculation. This one fraction and this denominator. Now we cross multiply this and this. So m times x minus x1 equals to y minus y1. Or you want to say y minus y1 equals to m x minus x1. Very easy, right? This is our formula. Okay, y1 minus y minus y1 equals to m times s minus s1. This is our formula. That's the formula. So we call this is point slope formula. You have 1 point, plug into the formula. So how you use this formula? Y minus something equals to x minus something. And if we have the point given is 2 and 6, you simply plug in 2 and 6 here. 2 to x, 6 to there. Then you have the equation. And what's the slope? If they give you slope, then you can calculate. So for this example, if you have 1 point, 2 and 6, and what's the slope? 2, right? So you have slope 2. Let me go back to here to use the formula. So how to find the equation of this line is y minus, let me use other color, y minus something equals to slope x minus something. So what's the slope? Slope is 2. Oh, I need to change the color. Slope is 2. And what's the point? You can choose this point, x, y, 2 and 6. Or you want to choose the other point, x is -2, y is -2. Doesn't matter which one, then you are going to have the right answer. Okay? And you can simplify. Let me choose this one. So y minus 6 equals to distribute 2x minus 4. So y equals to 2x, you plus 6 on both sides, so you have plus 2. So this is the equation, y equals to 2x plus 2. So that's the first example I show you. We use point slope form. And then we can have another form called slope intercept form. Slope intercept form is if I give you a slope and give you y-intercept. Y-intercept is the line go across the y-axis with the number, the coordinate 0, b. So say if this line go upper, then this b will be different b, right? With the same slope, you may have different y-intercept. So y-intercept, very important. Now, in this case, looks like the slope is 2/3, but pretend we don't know, okay? If you say rise over run, you can choose rise over run, or you can choose rise over run. So rise over run maybe is rise 4, and the run is 6, the same thing. Now, we will go back to use this example, but right now, let me deduct the formula for you first. So say we have a line with slope and the y-intercept 0, b. So kind of this is x1, y1. x1, y1. Okay, so proof slope equals to, now we have, in general, we have xy, right? And what's our one point? They give you 0 for the x and the y-intercept b. So you simply same thing, our proof, like the previous proof, we directly use the slope formula. Now, simplify. M equals to y minus b over x. So we put the 1 under. Oh, I would like to change the color here. Over 1. Now we cross multiply. M times x equals to 1 times y minus b, or you simply multiply x on both sides to cancel out the x. Same thing. So mx equals to y minus b. In other words, y minus b equals to mx. So if you plus b on both sides, what do you have? Then you have the y equals to mx plus b, which is the slope intercept formula. So if you have a slope and the y-intercept, then the equation of this line will be y equals to mx plus b. So the number multiplied to x is slope. The number plus to x is y-intercept. So in this case, y equal to 2 over 3x plus we don't know the y-intercept. If you know, then you have to complete. Right? Now this question that didn't give you detail, but from the graph you kind of can see, but not very clearly number. Anyway, if they give you B, then you know the whole equation. Okay. So I'm done with this video talking about the slope concept on the last video, and then talk about the slope formula for this video. Okay, so see you next time. And then if you already know how to do the slope, then this video is supposed to be easy for you. And if not, then you can try to take a note and then submit your note as extra credit. See you next time. Bye bye.